Hi, Jeff here today to talk to you about sending and receiving energies. So, why would you want to send energy, or what do you want to do if you're receiving energy? Well, I would think if you're sending energy out, you could send that out in a healing capacity. Like if you were aiming to allow the energy that you're sending out to be to a benefit of someone else for their healing, or if you know you're receiving energy. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But let's first talk about the sending. Either way, sending and or receiving energy, I certainly feel you need to set an intention or have an intention. An intention behind any energy work, I feel, is important. So your intention would be who you want to send to, when or where. Maybe they're right there in front of you and you're laying your hands on this individual, or maybe you're doing like a remote or a distance healing kind of concept and you're sending energy or projecting energy to a distant space or place where that individual is. So setting those intentions of you've got that person in mind, where they're at, and then you can go from there. And just so having that initial intention in sending. So when you're thinking of sending that energy for the benefit of healing purposes, you want to keep in mind, I think, to amplify the amount of energy and the quality of energy and the impact of the energy you're sending. You want to include some other elements, such as things like senses. If you know the individual, maybe there's detail in you knowing what it is that they need healing for. Maybe they have a certain ailment, bad shoulder, or maybe they have a depression, a mental thing, or maybe there's an emotional trauma in there, whatever that is. But if you bring that into your sending process, the more detail you have there, I feel, again, the sending of that energy when it's received, it becomes more impactful for the benefit of healing. So you can send with using your senses in building more detail into what you're sending. So you might want to think about what that energy might feel like, what that energy might look like, what that energy sounds like. Or again, knowing the individual or the receiver, maybe favorite color is purple, so you want to send like a purple energy, or they love the tropical beaches, so you want like a nice tropical feeling to the energy you're sending. So you can put those elements into what you're sending outward toward that individual or pet or whomever it might be that you're sending energy to for a healing purpose. And then you also would want to consider, I would suggest, considering the quality of what it is you're sending. Are you just sending it's kind of just sending blankly, or are you sending something with, think of sending with the intention or the implication of like compassion or kindness or reverence? Those kinds of ideas behind what you may be sending, again, can amplify what the overall energy is in its sending to person, place, or thing, wherever they are. So you can think of streaming or sending your energy with a nice quality of gratitude or reverence behind that. Almost like if you were going to touch, let's say, like a newborn baby, a newborn member of your family, newborn baby in the family. You're about to hold that baby for the very first time. You're very likely gonna hold that child tenderly and compassionately and very gently, so you can have that type of quality, or consider that type of quality in what you're sending. That is very much from a heart-centered space, and it's gentle and it's kind and it's very loving and reverent or soft or gentle in what you're sending. That's just a suggestion, and these are all guidelines, right? Like if you feel you know how to send energy and you got a pathway or a way to send energy that really works for you, you do that. That's another big point, is what feels right for you in the sending or as a receiver. But again, these are just thoughts and ideas that might help you to how to send or receive. So you can set attention, you can inform or include more of your senses, you can have a nice quality behind what you're sending, and then you could think about what is that sending. Is it just like a constant sending? So let's say you're going to send someone healing energy for a couple of minutes. Is that just like you're channeling and sending that energy consistently over a 2-minute period? Or do you feel like it's easier for you or better for you to like gather and collect energy in, or healing energy in, almost in yourself, like a container in your heart space, and then you release kind of like a care package at the end of that time frame, and you just deliver this whole package of beautiful energy to this person or pet or whomever for healing purposes. So there's different concepts and different ideas that way. You can have this constant stream. You can build and grow it in and then send it. If you like the idea of color and you're not sure like what color is the best, sometimes white is a good color. It kind of encompasses all the other colors, so you could send that. But if you were just tuning into someone, let's say you're going to send healing energy to your neighbor's dog, and you just thinking about the dog, and instantly the color pink comes to mind. That's probably an intuitive hit, and you maybe want to go with that, like I want to send like a cool pink energy to the dog. And you can direct it that way. So the sending also you can do like with a gesturing, like holding your hands out towards in the direction of that person, especially if you're in or nearby, maybe actually touching them or the place that's painful or in trauma or looking to be healed. You could potentially place your hands on. But if you're in like a remote situation, like sending it across the room or sending it across the country, you might want to hold your hands out, or you can just visually envision this happening. But your belief and your mindset behind that goes a long way. If you have that clear-mindedness and that focus and that intention and attention towards that individual will give you more success in your sending. So again, you could send with some kind of gesturing, maybe using your hands, or maybe you're molding and flowing energy towards an individual. That's all beautiful. And you, again, I would suggest whatever feels right for you in a moment to do. Maybe one time you feel like just sending with a gesturing of set hands, and maybe another time you're like sending through a different modality or different movement or technique of your hands. Whatever feels right in the moment, just feel free to change it up and switch it up. But again, you start with that intention and the quality, and if you get any intuitive hits and things like that. Now then, if you were, let's say you're on the receiving end of that, and that someone is sitting back and sending you healing energy, or they're right there, you're receiving some kind of treatment and you're getting like a hands-on or a Reiki type session where someone is over you, you could set an intention yourself that you're open to acknowledging I have X ailment or problem or challenge, and then maybe also acknowledging that, yes, I am willing and prepared to heal from this. I can heal from this, and having that type of mindset instead of just blankly receiving, but willingly opening yourself and allowing this healing energy to come to you is a great space to be in. And then also setting an intention, like I am receiving this for the healing of my shoulder, for example, and I'm grateful to receive this. I'm prepared to receive this energy and allow the healing to happen at its own pace, whether it happens in instantaneous, spontaneous change, or it's right after, minutes or hours later, or maybe it's 2 weeks later, where this energy that's sent to you kind of works its way in and around and through. But it's having an intention of being open to receiving and grateful or gratitude, potentially, again, ideas on how you might receive, just guidelines, but you could envision that as also, in that you're open to and allowing that energy to be received. And again, you can also receive what you want. Like if you want blue energy that's like smells like the ocean side and it's warm and comfortable, even though the person on the other side might be sending you something else with their own intention, but your intention of receiving is that, I want this blue ocean colored energy to be received, and it smells just like the ocean side, and I want to feel like the warmth of the sand on my body. And you add all of those wonderful layers and textures of detail in there. Again, in your receiving, your body and mind will likely be far more open to receiving, and especially have that intention of I am prepared to heal and want to heal, ready to heal, those kinds of ideas, and I'm allowing that healing energy to move into whatever trauma or space or place that is. So setting those intentions, being open and receptive to, will, in my opinion, give you a lot more impact. Again, I like that word impact, for the completion of, or the transition of, or the transformation of where you are. I like to also refer to like your challenge, like if I go back to the shoulder, using that example, that might be your place of need in the moment. Also in that, I also would mention that having one focal point in a healing moment would be ideal, rather than having a list of like 10 things. But if you just have one thing, okay, it's a shoulder, and then being prepared that this is my place of need, and this is where I want to receive the energy. And as the sender as well, you could think of I'm just sending to the person for one need, their place of need. And that journeying and that working together in that crossing or sharing of energy could be considered sort of like a transformation or like a metamorphosis. That something positive is happening and changing and transforming, and then maybe blossoming out into something new and changing from maybe a place of need to a place of harmony, where there's a change and a transition within that space, and the energy within that created a sore shoulder now as a place of harmony just feels that harmonious and happy and joyful, and that transition has changed. So there's lots of these different components and aspects of sending and or receiving those energies, and how you allow them to work with you, or how you send them, or how they might be received. So there's a lot of interesting tips there for you. So if you're ever like working, like I mentioned, to project or to send healing energy to someone else, you can keep all those things in mind. But if you just feel like totally creating your own thing, I encourage you to do that too. That is fantastic, a really positive and fantastic way to do it. So there you go. Have luck, good time, and good luck with playing with and sending and receiving energy with some of your loved ones. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I'm glad to have you on board, and if you'd like, you can subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll hopefully see you along shortly for our next video whenever that comes out. And also, if you check out in the description, you'll find some information about energy sessions that I provide, and or EFT tapping sessions, and some circle ceremony sessions that I'm creating and working on as well. So thanks for your time. We'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.